in there between all the text messages where one minute it's like, clean out your stuff and get out. The next minute is, I love you, I want to be together. But we can't do that if she's here.
There are texts between the two of you with you pressuring him to choose. And at one point you told him to fix it. Yeah, what do you mean by that?
In the general sense, fix it in the sense that you would take care of it, not take care of it like take somebody out. You would end the relationship. You would be done.
Will told Michelle he tried to send Anna packing many times, but she wouldn't go.
So Michelle perceived Anna as this girl who kind of never got the hint that she was being told to leave, and she kept coming back, although Anna never knew any of this was really happening.
On Saturday night, April 15th, just 4 days shy of the deadline they'd set, Michelle was supposed to have dinner at Will's apartment.
It wasn't until about 8 p.m. that night that William Hargrove tells Michelle Chavez that she actually can't come over, that Anna showed back up. Anna's back again, he'll take care of it.
What followed was yet another heated text conversation. Not a surprise, according to Detective Chris Dale, who says Michelle and Will exchanged more than 13,000 texts during their relationship.
Constant checking in every morning to make sure that he's woken up on time to get to work. It didn't seem as if there was an hour in a day that went by where they were not communicating.
But on that day, there was one critical text.
So Will Hargrove sent a message to Ms. Chavez, I will have this permanently fixed by 1800 tomorrow.
So he'll have the situation of Anna Rapkina handled by 6 p.m. The following day, which was Easter Sunday.
That assurance was not enough for Michelle. She continued texting and calling Will, who turned off his phone. As the hours passed with no reply, Michelle's hope that Will was truly fixing the problem with Anna vanished.
I guess you made your choice. Okay. I'll let you be. Why? I just want to know why. I'll let you be. But I just want to know why.
The next morning, Michelle headed to her mother's house for Easter. Jamie was there as well.
She said that she'd spent the night ugly crying. And even though I knew what the probable answer was going to be, I still asked her, like, why? And she looks at me and she goes, why do you think? And I said, because of Will.
Meanwhile, back at his apartment, Will was dealing with a very different but urgent problem. His car insurance policy.
They've been sending him notices that if he doesn't have it paid by midnight on the 16th, they're going to cancel his insurance.
He tells them that he knows his insurance lapses that evening, and he needs to get it extended for free because if it doesn't, he's going to lose his vehicle loan, and they're going to repossess it immediately.
Okay. Can you guys hold off until the 21st so I can get your payment?
Unfortunately, once it is pending cancellation for non-payment, we don't have the ability to move the dates at all. And this one, yeah, so it'll be canceled effective tonight at midnight.
Just after 4:30 p.m., Michelle's phone rang. It was Will. And what did he say?
That he had been out at the coast. That he was on his way back in and he almost hit a deer. He ran off the road and he had a flat tire. And he needed help.
How did he sound?
Shaken. Sad.
And so, Michelle left her family's Easter celebration to go and meet Will in the town of Alsea. He waited for her at a local convenience store.
You can see him walk to the cooler where he gets Pepsi. He goes and gets his candy bar, and then he ultimately gets a pack of cigarettes.
About an hour later, Michelle arrived.
She parks on the side of that store. We see her get out of her Prius.
I asked him what happened. Where have you been? And he told me that he, after we had talked, that they got into an argument and he said horrible, mean things to her. And that she had turned around and taken her suitcases and had walked out.
Thinking Anna had finally left the apartment for good, Michelle says she and Will got into his car.
We drove for a little bit, and we pulled off, and we were talking for a few, and then honestly we ended up having sex in the front seat.
So you had makeup sex, essentially.
Yeah, essentially. Makeup sex in the front seat.
Michelle and Will then went their separate ways, with Michelle returning to her family's Easter celebration.
She came back, she was in a good mood, she was smiling, she was, she was happy, she looked total 180 from what she looked like in the morning.
Will headed home, but he made a few stops along the way. First, at an ATM, where he withdrew money from Anna's bank account.
Made a $200 withdrawal from this machine, and then engaged in some conversation with some employees at that gas station, where he actually ended up hugging one of them and crying about the fact that his girlfriend, Anna Repkina, had left him.
His girlfriend, whose account he just took $200 from.
Yes.
Will then headed to a second ATM.
He goes to the Chase Bank and withdraws an additional $600 of Anna Repkina's money.
So now William Hargrove has $800 that he stole from Anna Repkina's bank account. Then about 9:30 p.m. on that same night, he drives to another bank, and he ends up depositing $160 of that cash into his bank account.
Will had just one more chore to take care of that evening.
Thank you for calling Progressive.
You actually have a card on file for me, and I need to make payment, please.
Several hours earlier, he has no money.
All this done? Everything's done?
Yes, everything is taken care of. You are insured as we're speaking.
Excellent. Thank you very much, ma'am.
My pleasure. Have a good night, woman.
All of a sudden, he has money, and he's taking it out of Anna Repkina's bank account, who's found dead the next day.
Ruby?
TV's #1 new show asks, can you guess a bad singer without hearing their voice?
In the way some of them are standing, I know who are good singers.
It's the most joyful TV surprise of the year.
You want to play? I can see you going, yeah, but I said it! She's not a good singer.
I Can See Your Voice all new. Wednesdays on Global.
On April 17th, 2017, the day after Easter Sunday, Anna Repkina was found with a shotgun blast to the back of her head, her body left like one more piece of garbage.
Anna was discarded in this landing with the other trash. Fast food bags, cigarette cartons, candy wrappers that were here. And at that point, we don't know what's evidence and what's not, because that could either be huge evidence in this case, or it could be just trash.
While investigators hoped to find a connection to Anna's killer, Will was sending Anna texts, showing concern about her whereabouts after the fight he said they'd had the day before. Will also launched a bizarre deep dive online, researching time travel.
He is trying to ask for help in how to travel back in time, back to April 16th, in order to correct a
Ruby?
horrible mistake.
His words, correct a horrible mistake.
Yes.
He even went so far as to message strangers on WhatsApp for advice to help someone he called his best friend. Will was apparently so desperate for this information, he offered a reward: his soul.
Ruby.
In addition to his strange
Ruby's the
internet
real
search,
challenge.
Will went on a shopping spree, spending more of that cash he stole from Anna, buying candy, video games, and toys.
He bought a $100-something set of Legos from a Walmart,
Will reached out to a friend named Kevin
To clean
Thomas.
this up.
saying that he's spending money he shouldn't, trying to distract himself.
On Wednesday, April 19th, investigators struck a lead with the trash found next to Anna's body. A KFC receipt from 3 days earlier with a crucial timestamp.
Was there a name on the receipt?
So on the receipt, there was
This
no
is
name.
how it's
KFC
done.
told us that there was
For those who were
actually
wondering.
a car that pulled up